Being cheated on is one of the worst things that can ever happen to you. It makes you feel betrayed, you feel sad, and most of the times you are so confused you don't know what to do. In this video, I want to be talking about if he cheated on you but you still love him, what are some of the things you are supposed to do? What are some of the things you are not supposed to do? If you are interested, kindly stick with me. Let's do this. Hello beautiful people, I welcome you back to my channel. This is Eke Nyami and this is my YouTube channel. I'm so excited you are with me here. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. If this is the first time you are coming across my video, hello. On this channel we talk about love, relationship, marriage, dating and life in general. If you are interested in any of these topics, kindly subscribe to my channel and click on the notification button so that every week when I post videos, you'll be part of the first few people who get the notification. Please don't forget to be part of this community. Let me put out a disclaimer. I do not support cheating in any way. But then, as I said, if he cheated but you still love him, I just want to tell you a few things that you have to pay attention to and a few do's and don'ts that will help you to go through that situation that has just happened to you. Most of the times when we are cheated on, especially when we love the person, the first thing that comes to mind is that let me forgive him. And we think that we are forgiving him because we love him. But I think that the reasons why we forgive them are more than the fact that we love him. Maybe you are so hurt and you want to get out of that feeling. Maybe you feel so betrayed and you still don't understand why he betrayed you. Maybe your ego has been crushed and you want to validate the importance of your ego. Maybe you are even thinking of, now if I let him go, I'm now going to start from scratch, and so I can't put myself in that situation. Or maybe you have a very low self-esteem and so you don't love yourself that much. It can be because of any of these reasons. And then most of the times when we are cheated on, the question that we ask is that if he loved me, why then did he cheat? So let's look at a few reasons why men cheat. One of the reasons why men cheat is that they can't resist temptation. So there are some men out there who cannot resist temptation. When they see different ladies with different forms, with different beauty, with different color and all those things, they go like, Charlie, they just can't resist the temptation, and maybe that might be the reason why he cheated. If he's that type that he cannot resist temptation, the probability that he will cheat again is very high. The next reason might be that some men cheat when they think that their sex life is boring. Maybe the woman that they are with is not so much into sex, or maybe the chemics and then the other things that they want to introduce into their sex life, the woman doesn't make any effort to do that. They tend to look for it outside. Another reason might be that some men see cheating as a form of challenge. Okay, so if I cheat, will she catch me? If she will not catch me, let me try and see if she will catch me. Let me try and see what she will do. Because there have been many instances where ladies will tell their men that when you cheat on me, I will leave you. And he just wants to challenge her and see, okay, so if practically I cheat on her, will she leave me or she will stay? Please, in this video, I'm talking about facts. I'm talking about how things are. Please, I'm not talking about emotions. So don't base on emotions to make arguments. I just want to be factual as much as possible. The next thing is that men cheat. Some men cheat when they get the opportunity to. So for instance, he goes out, a lady crashes on her, the lady makes herself available to him, and he finds it difficult to say no to him. And because he has had the opportunity, he decides to cheat. He decides to have an affair with her. So now, whatever the situation, he cheated and you caught him and you are asking yourself, what do you do? The first thing is that give yourself some time and space. Being cheated on sometimes puts some shock in your system. It's very traumatic. You are sad, you feel betrayed, you are confused. At that time, you are emotional, you are angry. And so you don't want to take any permanent decision at that time. So take some space and take some time. If you are living together, it is advisable you take some few days or few weeks away from each other. Just take the time and space to think through, to make decisions, but don't rush into making a decision at that particular time. The next thing that I will tell you to do is to practice a lot of self-care. During the time that you are taking some time and some space off, do not forget the basic things you have to do for yourself. Have enough sleep, exercise, read books, listen to music, meditate. If you have to journal, journal. Whatever that makes you happy, do it. At this time, I would recommend that you concentrate on yourself and forget a little about the relationship. Try positive affirmation. Try to release anger in healthy ways, but you don't want to be angry. You don't want to be locking yourself in the room. You don't want to be depriving yourself of sleep. You don't want to be depriving yourself of food. You don't want to be depriving yourself of the things that makes you happy. So as you decide to take some time and some space, please Practice plenty self-care. Focus on yourself for now. And then the next thing is that you ask yourself, what does your partner want? You see, the last thing that you have to do is to force and try and convince a cheating partner to be with you. And this most of the time depends on your partner and not you. So figure out what he wants. Does he really want to make things up, or he wants to move on? Sometimes he will decide to choose the other lady over you. And I've done a video about what to do when he chooses someone over you. Please do not neglect what he wants. Figure out what your partner wants. That will help you decide whether you want to stay or whether you want to move on. And then when you figured out what he wants, and then he says that I want to stay in the relationship, the next thing is that you have to know whether he's showing genuine remorse. Now, there's difference between just saying I'm sorry. Most people say sorry out of guilt. Most people say sorry because you caught them and they don't want to be the bad person. So you have to decide whether he's so remorseful, like and that he wouldn't do it again. Listen to the reasons why he cheated. Let him know how you feel, and then know that he's not going to blame you back and tell you that it is because of this thing that you did or because of that thing that you did that made me cheat. If he does those things, then my dear, he's not remorseful. And do not make him put the blame on you, as I said. And please, there's a little bit of line between guilt and remorse. So you have to be matured enough to know that this person is really remorseful. This person is really, really sorry before you decide to give a second chance. The next point that I have here is that you have to ask yourself, is the relationship a healthy one? Before he cheated, before you caught him, how was the relationship like? Healthy relationship has to do with honesty, trust, respect, open communication between the two of you. And then when both of you try to compromise in some way, yes, I know that in relationship there are sometimes ups and downs, but ask yourself, sit down and think through, did he really respect you? Did he respect your independence? Did he really love you? Were you happy in the relationship? For now, I want you to think outside the box. Think outside the fact that he cheated and ask yourself, was your relationship healthy? Because sometimes you realize that the relationship itself was not so much healthy, and so aside the fact that he cheated, you yourself don't really have to be in that relationship. Some of the ways that can help you to know if the relationship was healthy is to ask yourself, did you really feel secured in the relationship? Did you really feel respected? Was there trust in the relationship? Did you feel appreciated? Was there balance in reciprocity? When you do something, or does he reciprocate back? Was the relationship a one-sided? Were you able to communicate well? Were you able to resolve conflicts well? These are questions you need to ask. Think about most of these things and the things that you want in a relationship, and ask yourself, did he truly from his heart give you all those things before you come back to the fact that he cheated? The next thing you have to ask yourself, that has he cheated before? Realistically, my dear, his past behavior is going to play a part in what you decide to do next. So if this is the first time he has cheated, I'll say that calm down. Consider other things. As I said, ask yourself some questions before you make a decision. But if this is not the first time, then my dear, while you think about the fact that you love him, please also consider the fact that this action might repeat itself again. If he cheated once and he cheated twice, the probability that he will cheat again is very high. There is a difference between a remorseful person who has learned his lesson from an action. Because I always believe that when someone says sorry, the sorry is that I'm sorry, I am remorseful, I've repented of that thing, and I'm not going to repeat it again. But if he says sorry the first time and he did it again the second time, if you are considering forgiving him because you feel you love him, please do not forget the fact that the probability that you would have to come back to this thing again and discuss it again based on the fact that he might do it again is very high. And then please talk to someone that you trust. As much as possible, when things are bothering you, when you try to pile things in you and you are not able to talk it out, it also makes you very bitter, and it takes a very long time for the pain to go away. There's a saying that a problem shared is a problem solved. But then, as I said, let it be someone you trust, someone who is matured. If you are just talking to the person because you want to pour your heart out and you don't want an advice, let the person know. If you also want an advice from the person, then a second opinion, let the person know. But whatever it is, try as much as possible to talk to someone. Most of the times, the person who is outside the picture might see it clearer, because there's a saying that love is blind, but believe you me, my dear, marriage is an eye opener. So when you decide that because I love him, you don't talk to anybody, you don't think through, you just decide to forgive him because you love him, you might make a mistake that you might regret for the rest of your life. So please talk to someone else, someone you can trust, someone who is matured, and someone who can give you good and quality opinions about the whole thing. Next thing I want to say is that let your head and your heart have a say. Emotions can sometimes overtake us, but they are not always the best thing to guide us. And so sometimes our head needs to step in and protect us. I'm not saying that when it comes to matters of love, you should always use only your head. No. But I am saying that let your head be part of the conversation. Don't use only your heart, because emotions are not permanent. They are temporary. So when you take decisions based on emotions alone, you might make some mistakes in your life. Relationships can certainly recover from cheating, but only in the right context. Otherwise, when you use only your heart to make a decision, my dear, you are setting yourself up for a heartbreak again. So please let your heart and your mind have that coordination, that conversation, so that you are sure that this is the step that I want to take. One thing you have to know is that not all guys come back because they love you. Sometimes they come back for themselves. They come back to relieve the pain, the guilt, the shame. And so when they come back and you don't take time to analyze everything and you take them back, shortly after they will leave again. They will come up with different excuses and they will leave again. This is why when your boyfriend cheats and he comes back to you and tell you that he's sorry, you have to discern and know that he's telling the truth. Is he coming back because he loves you and wants to grow with you, or he's just coming because he couldn't make it with the person that he decided to cheat on with? Ask yourself, if things could have worked between the two of them, would he have come back? There are questions you need to ask yourself. You can tell if he comes back and gives you the right reasons and make conscious effort to work on it. I always say that trust is earned. Even as he's coming back, is he coming back and still giving you, my phone is there, don't touch it? When I go here and I don't come back, you don't have any right to call me and ask me, when are you coming back? If all those things are there, are still in place, then my dear, I'm sorry, but he is not really remorseful, and it is not 100% sure that he won't do it again. But if he makes post-cheating plans, post-cheating efforts, which clearly show that he's making efforts to make the relationship work, then I would recommend that you sit down, rethink through your decision, and check if he's so remorseful. You can forgive him and give him a second chance, because I always say that most of the time when you do, I won't forgive, I won't forgive, I won't forgive, you might have let a good man who has learned his lesson go. But ask yourself, is he really remorseful, and is he really ready to work on whatever reason that made him cheat? The next question that I want to address is that, can you trust him again? Because being in a relationship with someone who cheated and trying to rebuild their trust back is one of the most difficult things you have to do. So ask yourself, is your partner ready to talk about it? If he's ready to sit down, have an honest conversation with you without being angry or annoyed in the process, you can fully ask him, so why did you cheat? If he tries to shift the blame on you, if he tries to make you feel that you are the reason why he cheated, then you have to sit down and rethink if you really want to trust him again. But if it is something, weakness on his path, that he has realized that no, this thing that I did, I shouldn't have done that, and so I regret. If you're able to have this matured conversation with him, I think that it will help you rebuild the trust. On the subject of trusting him again, you also ask yourself, is he making effort to make things right? Is your partner sincerely sorry? And is he really trying to make things right? If he's trying to make things right, then it also means that he has regretted his action and he does not want to lose you. In this case, you can decide to give him another chance, but then you really have to be careful that he's not taking advantage of your forgiveness. The next thing is that, are you really sure that he won't cheat again? If you want to trust him again, you trust him when you are so sure that he won't cheat again. Else, if he goes out for an hour, you should know where he's going. You should know what he's doing. You should know who he's talking to. Sometimes you even have to do video calls to prove himself. Because if he doesn't make effort to earn the trust back, my dear, it is really going to be difficult for you to trust him again. I want to also tell you about things to avoid when he cheats on you and you still love him. What are some of the things you should avoid? Please avoid trying so hard. Don't try so hard to get his attention. He's the one who cheated on you, so he should be the one to try to catch your attention. Most of the times, we want to be doing the calling, we want to be doing the texting, we want to be asking the questions, we want to be crying. Sometimes we even go as the ladies to beg him, please don't leave me for help, please, is she better? No, please don't. Avoid trying so hard. The next thing you have to avoid is to overthink. Please don't overthink. The more you think, the more complicated the situation will be. So take it easy. Calm down. Think of the next thing that you want to do. If it gets too much, just sleep it off. I always say that when things are so much on me, I put off my phone and I slept. Trust me, you will feel much better the next day. And then please avoid forgiving him quickly. Don't forgive him so quick. Take some time. Re-establish the trust. Think it through. Why are you rushing? There's no need to rush anyway. That said, and now let's talk about a few lessons to remember. Ask yourself and your partner about what you both want to accomplish in the relationship. Have that conversation. Have open communication with your partner about where the relationship is going, and then be honest with your partner and let him know that something is bothering you. Don't just brush it off. Don't just sweep it under the carpet and behave as if all things are okay. No. And then ask yourself and your partner whether your needs are being fulfilled in the relationship. Another thing I've written here is that love yourself and forgive yourself before you try to love him and forgive him. Because most of the time we try to blame ourselves. If I'm saying that I did that made him cheat, no. Is it a bad decision that I took? For you to be able to forgive and love him back, forgive yourself and love yourself. And please don't settle for less in fear of never finding love. Settle for more, most importantly, respect. Don't say, what when I leave him, what if I'm not going to find someone else? This is a relationship I've built for 5 years. So I'm now going to start from scratch. My dear, if it is not good, it's not good. If he's a chronic cheat, he's a chronic cheat. So the whole point of this video is not to help you to whether decide whether I have to stay or I don't have to stay. No. But I just wanted to draw your attention to the fact that making this decision is not so much simple. There are other factors that are involved. And so you should understand that. You should understand your own self-worth. Understand that you need to be respected. Value that, know that the decision that you're about to take is a very valuable decision. And so take all these things into consideration. Ask yourself, am I ready to forgive him? Am I ready to stay? Am I ready to trust him? Is he ready to make conscious effort not to repeat that again? And is this relationship healthy? Ask yourself all these questions before you decide to make a decision. Please don't decide when you are angry, when you are betrayed, when you are confused. Take your time off. Take some space and think through and make the best decision for yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that. And if you have any question for me, please put it in the comment section and I'll try as much as possible to answer. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next video. Nyame nka ho.